she stood in the doorway, I heard the mission bell. And I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven and this could be hell. Then she lit up a candle and she showed me the way. There were voices down the corridor. I thought I heard them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Ready a room at the Hotel California. Any time of year, you can find it here. Her mind is Tiffany twisted. She got the Mercedes Benz. She got a lot of pretty, pretty boys she calls friends. How they dance in the courtyard, sweet summer sweat. Some dance to remember, some dance to forget. So I called up the captain, please bring me my wine. He said, we haven't had that spirit here since 1969. And still those voices are calling from far away. Wake you up in the middle of the night just to hear them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely face. They're living it up at the Hotel California. What a nice surprise, what a nice surprise. Bring your alibis. Mirrors on the ceiling, the pink champagne on ice. And she said, we are all just prisoners here of our own device. And in the master's chambers, they gathered for the feast. They stab it with their steely knives, but they just can't kill the beast. Last thing I remember, I was running for the door. I had to find the passage back to the place I was before. Relax, said the night man, we are programmed to receive. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing, folks? How are we doing? Um, we'll see how long we have to go. We're gonna go today. I have to be up for some tomorrow, and we don't have a fuck ton to talk about. But however long I can stay interesting, and however long the topics can stay interesting, is how long I will go. Um, with that being said, we have a lot to cover. Not a lot to cover. We have some stuff to cover in the aftermath of the Emaru Mizkif situation or allegations. Hold on. You know, when I was watching these allegations for the first time, okay, and I was sitting there watching, I wondered to myself, God, man, what I really need right now is Tectone's take on this. What I really need right now is to know what Tectone thinks. Is it? You could agree, right? That's what you were probably thinking too. I'm like, dude, I need to know what this guy thinks about this. It has to happen. And it did. And it did. So to start us off, let's just get right into it. Hold on. $2 from Soul Skibbity, first stone of the stream. Parrot character turning around, waving his hand, saying, "Hey, you." Well, thank you so much, Soul Skibbity, for the first fucking donut of the stream. Hold on. We're switching over. One sec. Why? So Tectone, who's still on the weirdest break I've ever seen, where he tweets, interacts, talks about everything, except instead of it is set up, he's sitting on a porch, has decided to chime in and let us know what he thinks about the Mizkif situation.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Before I begin this video, that I know a lot of people have been waiting on me for a very long time to make, I want to make one thing perfectly clear. This video is not for content. This video
All right, dude, we are so far, how long are we in? We're 20 seconds in, and we already have a lie. We already have a lie. There is nothing, you're just not intelligent enough to offer anything of substance on this subject. And furthermore, it's literally like Epstein, like the Epstein saying, "I hate pedophiles" video. Like, you have two allegations against you from separate women, right? And and yeah, sure, it's a he said, she said, but it's he said, or she said he lied because you lied in your response to one of those allegations. And, you know, you actively platformed and promoted your sex offender father.
to be in I Told You So. This video really isn't a...
Wait, for the bingo card as well, he's gonna make it about Hassan or Twitch. Well, he'll obviously make it about Twitch. We could already, that's like our middle one. We can mark that on, he's already lied. We'll give him that he's gonna make it about Twitch. But to be fair, I think like a lot of people are gonna do that. Will he make it about Hassan? Will he mention Hassan's name? And will he spend most of the video talking about himself and people he personally has gripes with?
Pile on the Mizkif train right now. It's really not. This video is very...
Someone is just like Toki's uncle is mowing the lawn in the background right now while Tectone's trying to do his like dramatic, feigned like emotion video.
Important to me to talk about. I take no enjoyment in this.
Whoever is mowing that lawn, you just like completely remove like his attempt at having aura. Lawnmower.
I take no pride in this. You might see me make a joke or two on Twitter.
Dude, I'd like to think he's looking off camera to the guy that's mowing the lawn. He's like, "Really, bro?" And the dude mowing the lawn is just like looking back at him, smiling.
Because hearing a fucking stuffed animal is a deadly weapon was insane to me. But this is just kind of People want to hear what I have to say, and I'm going to say it. I will also preface this video. This is not a video where I will ever talk about the trials and tribulations and issues that I had with Miz. It's not the time. It's not the place. People have already come out.
All right, he's already made it partially. Okay. To be fair, he's saying he's not going to make it about him, but I doubt he'll be able to go 9 minutes without making it about him. Let's just be real.
Their stories, and rather garnering any sympathy from me, I'd rather you just go.
No one asked for his input. I, for one, was sitting there wondering, what does Tectone think? I need this guy's. That's what I think about whenever, like, if anything ever happens, and then nothing ever happens, Chud loses. The first thing that comes to my mind is, what does Tectone think about this? When Charlie Kirk died, okay, when nothing ever happens. I'm trying to think about like things that have happened. I mean, you know, we had Trump assume the presidency again, but besides that, I mean, nothing ever happens.
Support the other people instead. I don't need any sympathy. I don't need any pity. Please go support and listen to them, and support them the best you can, and I appreciate that. I will say this, Miz, in case you're watching this, I do hope you take care of yourself. I do. I know you're kind of going down this route of you want to drop nukes on everybody and watch the whole world burn, and
it is a fake persona he's doing to make himself look like the cool, like, to make himself look like the cool, like, canceled, nothing to lose, Joker type, like, the world has wronged me, type of person. It's, like, very forced and, like, played up. He doesn't have anything to drop. Let's just be real. And Tectone is somebody that's very used to playing into fake images, of themselves to, like, be perceived a certain way by the public. So maybe Techie could give him some Actually, no, because it never works for Tectone. Anybody who's above the age of 9 or has an IQ above 85 can see when, like, Tectone does the fake sympathy crying on stream thing, that it's just, like, totally forced. He's trying to victimize himself to avoid responsibility or accountability and wants to make it about him.
that's fine, and that's dandy. It's not really going to change anything, is it? Not really. You can do whatever it is you want to do, but my suggestion is just that you simply retire, move forward with your life. You have the money, and, you know, keep on living. This whole situation is just...
I don't know enough about Mizkif. Like, Mizkif definitely uses, like, narc strategies, like, in the way he operates, but I don't know, like, enough about him to be comfortable making this entire... You know, not every abuser is, like, necessarily a narcissist, so I don't know about him where I'd ever, like, be comfortable at this point in time ascribing that label to him. But someone like Tectone, it's not about the money for him. Like, he cannot walk away from this because his entire, like, value in life is being, like, worshipped, and having other people have some positive perception about him and always giving him attention. $5 from Plans. Hi, Aiden. Thanks for going live. Was bored. Also, Tectone looks like a thumb. Thank you so much, Plants, with the $5 fucking dollars. Biggest donor of the stream. Super fucking base.
very disheartening, because the longer that I exist in the space...
Wait, did Tectone... Dude, there's no shot. You're joking. You're joking, Patrick. Tectone fucking... Tectone defended Christy Gnome shooting her dog? Are you serious? My dog did a normal dog thing, and because I couldn't secure my chickens, and now my dog needs to die. Even the nice, cute little family dog, they still have, like, predator instincts. Like, my dog, who's the sweetest dog ever, goes insane around birds. He becomes, like, a different type of, like, he locks in, he chases after them. That's what dogs do, because dogs are, you know, you know, they are domesticated wolves. They still have, you know, a what is it, a prey drive or whatever. They still have that, and I'm pretty sure you can train them out of it in many instances. But the dog that Christy Nome shot was a puppy. Okay, puppies are not always going to be the best behaved because they're puppies. They're very hyper. We fostered a puppy once, and he was like running all over the place. He was like it's like a love tap, or like or teething. He would like nip me or whatever. He tried to chew on my dog's ear. And my dog by the end of the week just looked so fed up with having a puppy there. So eventually he was fostered by another we weren't keeping him. He was a dog that was up for adoption. We probably weren't going to adopt him, but we had him at our house.
The longer that my community, others' community will realize that the people who have been shit-talking me and blacklisting me and slandering me are slowly coming out for everyone to realize that, man, if someone's shit-talking me, it's pretty much a big red flag at this point.
But like, yeah, but like, the thing is, her like response is like completely like psychopathic. And then the fact that she didn't understand that bragging, or not only did she do it, she didn't see the problem, how it would like be negatively perceived when she publicly mentions it. She thinks it's just going to go over dandy with people. Like, people are going to be fine with that, right? Because she does, like, she's just not like us. She like is devoid of basic human emotion.
And trust me, the things I get to talk about later are going to be even better. What's hilarious is I've already won, but I'm really enjoying my time off, so I'm not even going to talk about it yet. But I got some great things to talk about later.
Yeah, we don't care.
For any female streamer, for any young streamer,
that's get away, ladies, get away. Run away while you can. He's mentioned the females. Techie's mentioned the females.
In this space, I hope that you can learn from this. Any of the large...
Wait, I missed it. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Wait, hold on.
I'm going to talk about it yet, but I got some great things to talk about later. Area says I've already won, but I'm really enjoying my time off, so I'm not even going to talk about it later. It's pretty much a big red flag to realize that, man, and blacklisting me and slandering me are... The longer that I exist in the space, the longer that my community, others' community will realize that the people who have been shit-talking me and blacklisting me and slandering me are slowly coming out for everyone to realize that, man, if someone's shit-talking me, it's pretty much a big red flag at this point.
He's already made it about... No, these are like facts. These are facts that are from your own words. I keep mentioning this, because I need to beat this into people's head, because the droolers in my X comments are like, it's his dad, man, it's his blood. My criticism has never been about Tectone speaking to his father, okay? I've said it before, like, John Wayne Gacy's sister, despite hating her brother, would regularly visit him on death row, because you have this like multifaceted view of this person where you still love the person you knew before you knew what they had done, but you also don't condone like the horrific acts they perpetrated. And it's a hard thing to grasp. I think like the family members of people who do bad shit in many cases are like victims in their own right. But that wasn't the problem. The problem was, by his own admission, he's known since he was 16 that his dad was convicted of various crimes, and just assumed he was, according to him, assumed he was innocent and went on with his day. And then only when, after platforming, bringing his dad on stream, what we're supposed to believe is he's 16, he knows that his dad has committed crimes and been convicted. And between 16 and his late 20s, he never did like a Google search about like his dad's conviction. He never looked into it, etc., etc. And then all of a sudden, when everyone else learns about what his dad did, he also knew what his dad did, just he thought it was a false conviction. When everyone else learns what his dad did, now all of a sudden his opinion's flipped. He now is like, God, I can't believe he did. Like, you knew the whole time and platformed him anyway. And then somehow made yourself out to be the victim when this was exposed. And then additionally, right, you were, once again, it's accusations. When it's a lot of times when people are raped or sexually assaulted, you are never going to have video evidence. And yeah, false accusations do happen. They're just not likely. And for two separate people to, that makes it even more unlikely for two separate people to come out with allegations against you. But furthermore, you lied in response to one of those allegations, which is suspicious as fuck. These are all facts. These are all facts. There's no slander.
And trust me, the things I get to talk about later are going to be even better. What's hilarious is I've already...
It's a red, because like some people who didn't like me, okay, this is the cope that like people who jerk to Lolicon like to use. Oh, how come? Look at these examples we've picked of people who said they didn't like Lolicon and got like arrested for sex crimes. And it's like, when there is a position held by a substantially large amount of people, you are always going to find a few amongst those groups that are not good people. If it's a popular position, and it is a popular position, that Tectone is a self-centered, narcissistic liar, and he's also completely pathetic. Like, sorry excuse for a man.
One, but I'm really enjoying my time off, so I'm not even going to talk about it yet, but I got some great things to talk about later. For any female streamer, for any young streamer that's in this space, I hope that you can learn from this.
Dude, I'm sorry, it's gonna be, what the fuck? Dude, it's gonna be fucking 90 degrees this week? Dude, we're so cooked.
Any of the large streamers that frequently orchestrate large collaborative events, I'm letting you know those are the shitbags in the space. Those who constantly bring on other large streamers onto their platform.
Yeah, he's like salty that people don't want to collaborate with him. With the exception of like a few of the like dumbest and most suspicious people online, nobody wants to bring him into any collaborative event. Even if we didn't understand, Aiden Darius IRL wants to debate, does he? He has my, I mean, I'm assuming he has my X, he has my Discord. I'd be happy to debate him. Is Tectone your new Cheeto? I mean, I guess. I just really dislike this guy. And, you know, I'll grant it to Cheeto. Cheeto, I don't think is nearly as bad as this, right? I think even what I was saying before, though, is even if we remove the allegations against Tectone and the dad shit, I could imagine someone like this being incredibly insufferable sometimes to hang out in, like, group settings, because this is the type of person that just talks all about them and is really fucking loud, which is kind of how Cheeto is. 5 from JPM. I'm really enjoying my time off, still posting content. I said it. I said he is not going to be going all, he's going to do this like workaround where he's still going to be able to get the satisfaction of having his viewers like care about and talk about him. This is not a, like, what is this? There's no break.
Over and over and over and over again. Things will eventually come out. They will. They will. If you're a young female in this space and someone comes up to you and they say, I can do this for you, I can do that for you, I can do this for you, just run, for real.
Thank you. Actually, I think Tectone actually might like have a bit of knowledge to offer about like how people who are a danger to women might behave in a given scenario. Okay, this advice is valued.
Get away, you know? I'm not going to say that you're going to be sexually assaulted, but you're going to be used, you're going to be manipulated, and, you know, that even also goes for any man. I mean, let's just look at Twitch the other day. If you're a man and you get sexually assaulted on stream, bro, the woman got banned for 24 hours. I don't even remember the dumb whore's name, but that shit blew my fucking mind. I'm getting very tired of this streaming space as of late. Is anybody else getting tired of it? I remember when drama was just this person called that person a funny name, and now they're going to yell about it. Now it's just crimes. It's sad, really. It's disheartening.
It has always been this way. It has always been like this. What do you mean? I remember when like you were using AOL, like it has always been like this. You had fucking, what's his name? That Austin Jones guy being sentenced to 20 years in prison over like federal like CSAM distribution and obtaining it. And then you had what? You had fucking the Lion Makers and Dude, there were so many names, but like it's always been just crimes. It's always been crimes. Oh, I mean, I guess if he's talking about streaming specifically.
Feel good to share that news.
Stop stealing Dicker's viewership. I don't know what it is, dude. Every irregular time that I decide to go live, even if I'm like not on a schedule, he's like live as, and I feel bad before I hit the go live button because it's like, dude, I'm like, I know I'm gonna like have his viewership or whatever, but it's like, I just want to be able to stream when I want.
It's crazy what this system can do to people. And I don't really want to touch on anything criminal that Miz has been accused of. I have no interest in that.
Dude, I don't know a whole lot about Tactical Templar, but he seems like if he's somebody that's open to debate, he could be a very funny dude to debate, because I still will never forget that he is like the ultimate fell for it again award. The ultimate fell for it again award. This guy was like, Charlie's talking about the possibility of like one of the biggest instances of market manipulation in history. Meanwhile, Trump's secured a historic peace deal. How's your peace deal holding up, little bro? How's that peace deal? How's that doing?
I'll leave that to the parties at be. I've no desire to touch on that or dogpile on that. But what I will say is that Mizgif is a cautionary tale of what a man who will do anything for 5 extra viewers, 10 extra viewers, 100 extra viewers, 1,000 extra viewers. And I think it speaks volumes, because if you think he's the only person like that, I'm sorry, there's many, many, many more. People in this space don't really see you.
I mean, I think that could probably be true. And I also, the people that are like that, you know, I hate to say it, actually tend to be the more successful ones. It's just they become insufferable in the process. But the people that are like that locked in about it, where they're like, the problem with Mizkif is, you also couple that, you know, hunger for extra viewership in with like a disregard for the feelings of other people. And you see this with a lot of like controversial streamers, right? Where, I mean, that hunger in and of itself is not a bad thing. But to like it, for him, it's like he actually has to put other people down in the course of doing that. Bold, bold, bold.
As human beings anymore, they see you as a means to an end. They see you as a dollar sign. They see you as an increase to your viewership. Fellow streamers like Ludwig saying 95% of the people he interacts with on stream, he wouldn't even go to their funeral. I don't remember it always being this way. But
you don't, that's just true. Do you know how many people Ludwig interacts with? That makes perfect sense. That actually makes perfect sense. I honestly, I think that goes for any, like, am I gonna go to like the funeral of every single person I've debated? Like, you know, I can maybe count on one hand people whose funerals I'd actually show up to. It's and I'm like 1/8,000th of this of Ludwig's like fucking size.
the system is driving people to madness. It's letting them become victims.
Dude, Tectone wants to be that guy so bad. Have you seen the world lately, David? The world's a mess.
The demons of their own minds. And I want to say to any streamer watching this, try to unplug. It's one of the best decisions you can ever make. I know a lot of people, you want to keep the cogs turning, feed
Yeah, dude, I'm going to Blurt Barbley's funeral, actually. I'm going to Glip Glorpus's funeral. So true.
the machine, feed the machine. Guys, I'll be real. I can come back to streaming anytime I want. At this point in time, I have no reason not to. Besides, the amount of personal growth that I'm currently experiencing, as well as physical health and spiritual health, is outstanding. And I think content creation can lead a lot of people to become victims of the demons of their own mind and victims.
Look how happy I am. Look how happy I am, guys.
Machine. Take a break. Step back. Realize if you taking a break for your mental health is truly going to destroy your career, did you really destroy that career regardless? And is it really?
Where is this break we're talking? Dude, this break is like finding it is like trying to find this guy's hairline. It's like non-existent. Where is the break?
That's sustainable long term. You will slip up. You will do something out of character.
Dude, the break, Tectone's break, is like winning hide and seek champion of the year.
You will do something that will ruin your life, and I promise you, your 15 minutes of fame truly isn't worth it. I mean, look at all the women who have begun to glorify the idea that for $5 you can see their asshole. Jesus. It's sickening, isn't it? Anything to further their careers. I mean, I've heard...
It's not the women's fault. It's the we need to start blaming the people that consume it. These guys always like to do this. They like to shit on the women for capitalizing on like a huge source of revenue and losing themselves in the process. I would agree, but like every major streamer does that to some extent, where like that hunger for money, views, fame leads you to do like crazy shit, and that method of streaming in particular for women happens to work, and they take advantage of it. But then the argument should be to disincentivize the objectification of women, right? This like whole like what is it, the manosphere, whatever the fuck, like, you know, it's all like fuck porn, fuck, which I'm honest, I'm like, you know, I'm relatively anti-porn. But these people go about it in like the angle of, oh, like fuck women. For me, it's a greater social problem that, in my opinion, the men are equally as responsible for.
Of women who have offered sexual favors to streamers to just get a raid. I've heard streamers, male streamers, tell women that if they do sexual favors for them, they'll get a raid.
If guys could do that, many would. Just to be clear, if guys could do that, many would. And the person offering that favor is at fault. That's like what would be the word for that? That would be a case of like a power dynamic that makes consent like dubious, right? It would be like Harvey Weinstein telling you like, I'll give you the part, sweetie, if you like suck my dick or whatever, right? It's like you're using like the potential of career advancement to get someone who wouldn't otherwise consent to a sexual act to consent. And that's like pretty rapey, right? Like that would 150% be the man, like the guy offering that is the creep.
And I think it's disgusting how sex has now become a tool for profit and exposure when it once was a sacred act that you would do with one person who you would want to be there for the rest of your life and live a nice, quiet, humble life, sharing this intimate practice with the one person you consider your soulmate.
Oh, really? Well, let's look at how you treated that soulmate of yours. Let's look at how you like. If you don't think this guy's like jerking it to fucking porn, you're like lying to yourself. Like this guy gives off huge gooner energy, but like, also like when you did have that soulmate, you treated her like absolute shit. You've no understanding of what a soulmate is. You don't know what true love is. Okay, you don't know what love is.
People's values are disappearing day by day. The pursuit of fame, the pursuit of fortune is...
Wow, dude, it's some great, like, insight that, like, is said by everyone who wants to sound... It's literally, I'm 14 and this is deep, except I'm 28 and this is deep. It's, like, saying shit that, like, everybody knows and acting like it's some original insight.
Really making people show their true colors, and it's not pretty. I take no enjoyment in everything that's currently being discovered over the past 24 hours. But I did just want to warn you guys of what happens when you pursue view after view after view, content after content after content, and you disregard your own mental well-being, and you disregard everything that is real in life in pursuit of what is fake. May everyone watching this have a wonderful day. Hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you all are taking care of yourself. Please, never kill yourself. Your life is worth living.
Wow, dude, thanks. Thanks. I was gonna do it, but then I heard that from Tectone, and now I'm doubly as likely to do it. Okay, we also have this. Apparently, there are some allegations again. Who is Bonnie? Hold on, what is this?
This is April of 2021. We met online when we were playing AT&T Annihilator Cup. This is me and Emmy. I was introduced to her through it, and my chat started to like us hanging out. I didn't have feelings for her.
Queeman exposed you? Read my message? Where is your message? You're not DMing me anything. What are you talking about? Mizkif never made fun of me. Mizkif never made fun of me. He just went into a group chat, or it was, no, a voice chat, and, like, immediately just, like, disregarded everyone else and took, like, control of the fucking, like, chat temporarily and, like, made it all about him. And I'm like, dude, I don't even remember, like, the specific details of the discussion, but I just, like, he came off as, like, a complete dick. But that's not why I side with Emiru. Aiden, you've gone over the... I did? I did? Dude, we're getting to the point where I've covered so many shitter topics, I don't even remember what I covered. If it's a topic I, like, had no interest in when covering it, I will never remember it. I just won't remember it. That's what Queeman said? No, I'm on Emiru's side because the facts seem to the concrete evidence that was presented was indicative of a certain personality type that would be consistent with the behavior she described, and I didn't necessarily like get like super big indication that she was lying, although I remain skeptical of certain claims. Like, I didn't think the water bottle shit was like necessarily abusive. And then Ms. Kiff's response, he just like actively avoids directly addressing claims, and does address claims that are not even ones invoked by her, right? Like complete, complete straw manning.
Or anything, but I thought we could start hanging out more and be friends. We started to play games with each other on stream, and we started to grow closer together. We started calling each other, and we were flirting. We didn't do anything, but it was pretty obvious that Emiru had feelings for me as well as I had for her. But we couldn't really do anything because at the time, she was dating a girl named Bonnie.
Okay, so she was dating a girl named Bonnie. First video is XQC going over the clip that went viral of Bonnie be bonkers, as well as... Dude, I can't anymore. Dude, the be bonkers situation. It's crazy, dude. Crazy. First video of be bonkers, as well as her interactions and other clips of be bonkers talking about the relationship she got out of around that time.
Oh, wow, a slushy post. Interesting. 7,000 likes.
Pedophile coded. Pedophile coded. I'm kidding.
Emiru, accused. Oh man.
They dated at 17 when she... Okay, dude. Like, yeah, it's like weird as fuck. It is weird as fuck, but like...
Yo, how about I forward this to Asmongold? You know what? I forwarded to Asmongold. If you want, you know. Oh man, he's offline now.
No, grooming is not all instances of even instances of pedophilia. Not all instances of pedophilia involve grooming. There are some cases where you'll literally just be attacked. That wouldn't like the grooming aspect is a tactic utilized. This is obviously not pedophilia, to be clear, but grooming is a tactic, right? That tactic isn't always used in instances where older people are assaulting children. Like, it can be used in, like, the sense of, like, if the pedophile is someone you know that's telling you not to tell your parents and this is normal and fun, etc. If it's a case of, like, I don't know, you're in Target with your mom and some guy in the aisle just, like, comes up to you and, like, assaults you, that wouldn't be grooming, to be clear. That would just be pedophilic assault.
All right, I'll take over for the Asmongold fans today, boys. I got you, boys. We'll cover this.
How old was she? She was like...
Don't ever date bi... If I was with a woman, I would not care if she was fucking, I don't know, hooking up with other women occasionally. Honestly, I couldn't care. It just doesn't really feel like cheating as much to me, but that's just, I don't know.
Okay, so accused of grooming minor streamer Bon Bebonkers says they dated at 17. What? I'm annoyed it took so long to realize. Girls get away with it a lot. A friend said she groomed you. I glitched. What?
Actually, she was like 23, and we started getting like flirty and like touchy when I was 17. I think she was 23 at the time.
Yeah, that I mean, what the fuck was that? Yeah, that's it's like pretty bad. Yeah. But it's not like, once again, it's not something where I'm gonna sit here and be like, oh, like Emery is some like irredeemable freak, especially if she's like ever since then, you know, exclusively maintain relate. Like, how many years ago was this? How old is she now? She's 27. So this was only 4 years. Okay, I don't know. Like, this is definitely something she needs to address or apologize for. I don't know if I'd go as far as to like indicate she's some like you know, pedophile over this. Once again, this chat is so weird. Thank you, Kitten Farter, for pointing. Dude, Kitten Farter wants to let you know, chat. You're really weird. I agree with you, Kitten Farter, by the way. I will not dono to a cock. Is that really getting cocked? Yo, Master Bricks of the Two. You'd go to mine, right? Your funeral? You gave me money, so of course I would, because we're best friends. Scallywag with the Two. I blame the people wasting their time and money. True. Folks, we're nearly a quarter of the way to Streamly goal. If we hit Streamly goal, I will say yippee.
Touchy?
Sorry, I gotta go through that. I'm just like annoyed that I realized it so late because I spent so long like defending this girl, and I thought like she was a victim too. And in some cases, yeah, but it's like, why would you like why? I don't know. And it took me a long time too because it's like, you know how people can be when it comes to like girls versus guys doing weird shit. Girls get away with a lot of stuff.
They do. No, I mean, that's true, but I hate to say it. Like, there is inherently a difference in dynamic, typically, amongst, like, how females operate versus men, right? I mean, I think that, like, once again, I made the argument that things that I would consider sexual assault, if a guy was doing to a woman, I would not really grant as much severity to it if it was like, for example, right, I couldn't go walk up to a woman and touch her, right, but you know, some prostitute did that to me, and it's like I don't consider that sexual assault, because there was no threat of like fear, or there was no threat of it going of me being in danger, and there was no threat that I wasn't, or there was no feeling that like I couldn't push this person away, which I did, right? $5 from G's females. Yes. But simultaneously, I think that at the same time, even though like I don't consider it necessarily the same, I do think that women have, like, historically, it has not been taken that seriously if it's like a woman raping a man, or which is, just to be clear, way more fucking rare than men being the rapist, but when it does happen,
AIDS gang represent, okay?
it is absolutely rape, and it is traumatic, and you know, the women should be held just as accountable. What are your thoughts on the Black Israelites in Yaqub? Well, Yaqub is from the Nation of Islam. The Black Israelites are a separate movement, and I think it is ultimately the end product of Black Americans having an identity and history stripped from them. Because I brought this up before, like slaves, nobody gave a fuck what country a slave was from. If you're black, you're put in with the rest of the slaves. And a lot of, black Americans don't really know, I guess, where specifically their lineage is from. And I think that this like deprivation of a history kind of makes people want to form one of their own. So you see like the assumption of various like black identity movements, like the Moorish movement, the Black Israelites, et cetera, which I think is, kind of sad, because I think it is like a reaction to having that history taken from them. Are you saying they're having I guess an identity crisis in regards to their history? Sure. Because who wants to sit here and have to reckon with the fact, like, if your whole history is like your people were subjugated, which isn't their whole history, to be clear, but if you were to just, if school was to let you, if school was to, let you think that, right, it would just be like, if you're like a black kid, all you hear about is the enslavement aspect, when in fact Africa has a rich history, and I think we ought to teach kids about that. I think that, and also black American history is not like necessarily even African. Like, black people have a rich history besides slavery in the Americas. At least when I was in school, we did actually get to spend a lot of time on black history, minus besides that we spent a lot of time. I'm not saying don't teach about slavery. It's important. It's necessary. You also need to teach about the civil rights movement, but teach in addition to that, you can teach about other facets of black American history and identity. Quiz me on what? I'll admit, like, African history has not, I'm not like super well informed on like sub-Saharan history. I know about like various empires that existed there. I know about like some notable figures from those empires, and I know about the colonial era, but it's a little bit lacking relative to other parts of the world. On one hand, you literally just have like people who hate black people that say there was no history there, which is just completely incorrect. When was soul music founded? Well, the problem with questions like that is categorized, like, it's not like an objective invention where you can figure out the first person to do it. There's always going to be a dispute where like who has the title of the claim of soul music. But I'm pretty sure it. Also, what is soul, like? What do you mean by soul music? Like, there was, I don't know, there was like the Delta Blues, Robert Johnson, the guy that died on the crossroads, um, and then from there, I don't know what would specifically constitute as soul music. But I don't like, when I see the Black Israelites, even in the case where they're shouting insults at me on the fucking street, I don't sit there and be like, I hate these people. I don't hate them. I feel bad for them. Because I do think, yeah, some people didn't get to, had their history stolen from them, and um, try to cope with that fact through the development of new forms of history. Like, there's like tons of, like, I don't know, there's a huge action on Twitter. I saw there's a huge movement proclaiming that black Americans are like the real Native Americans, and the guys that we see on reservations and stuff were actually like paid paid off to take that role or whatever the fuck. I've seen that movement on Twitter, and that originates from, you know, everybody, not just even black people, but a lot of black people I know were told growing up that, you know, their family came from, their family was Cherokee. I was actually told I'm not black, obviously, but I was even told growing up that I was like 1% or some shit Native, which obviously isn't true. The truth of the matter is, it is true that black Americans were members of Native American tribes. You had groups like the Seminole who accepted runaway slaves. There were black people in these tribes, but like the assertion that those tribes originated amongst black people is not true.
And I'm being like, for real, girls get away with a lot of shit. Because it's like, oh, well, it's a girl. You know, girls are, like, inherently innocent, right? No. No. I even remember one of my friends was straight up...
You know, I don't really have a super sizable black audience, so I'd like to talk to, get maybe their perspective on this, on why these movements exist. But actually, some people, I only like found out that certain people in the audience were black later on.
Like, dude, like, she just like...
Yeah, but Chad, you know what?
Enslaved by, some were, but no, it was just the case that many Native American tribes did take black people as equals, as members of the tribe. That did happen. Yes, there were some that did enslave them. There were others that did take them in as members of the tribe.
I wasn't talking because I was reading the chat. I just wanted to see the difference in immediate reaction, just like the off the rip like initial reaction of like seeing reaction to this and seeing whatever it's like a guy accusation, and people go, "Oh my god, whoa! This guy did what? Yo, police!" Police!
Okay, I don't need XQC's opinion on this, but apparently, what's her face? Emaru responded to this. Let's take a look. Aiden doesn't know what soul music is. I could probably name things that would be constituted as soul music, but I feel like it's like that's a very like broad term. I don't know. You have like, yeah, you have like Delta. Sorry, did I say you have Delta blues? Yeah, like Delta blues and like fucking early rock and like I don't know what specifically. Like it seems like soul music would just be like encompassing various like genres. Oh, R&B. Yeah, okay. Ray Charles. I would say that would count, but then also I think Robert Johnson would count. And Ray Charles and Robert Johnson are nothing like each other. So it's like Motown would like, you know, like this, it seems like a very like vague genre that incorporates like some like similar aspects, but I don't. Oh, James Brown would be, dude, James Brown is crazy. That guy, like, hold on, dude, James Brown is nuts. Where is it? He like, I remember dude, where is it? Hold on. Brown was arrested on April 3rd, 1988 for assault, and again May 1988 on drug and weapons charges, and again on September 24th, 1988, following a high-speed car chase on Interstate 20 near the Georgia-South Carolina state border. He was convicted of carrying an unlicensed pistol and assaulting a police officer, along with various drug-related and driving offenses. He was sentenced to 6 years in prison. He was released on February 27, 1991 after serving 2 years. His FBI file was released according to the Freedom of Information Act. He was like, dude, he was like, he was living that life, dude. $2 from G's. Aiden, who is that peeking around in the corner? Yeah, like R&B also like, Like I can tell you specific people that I would bet would be classified as soul music, but like my familiarity with what specific facets would like constitute that genre, I'm not super like read up on. Like hold on. Yeah, like Marvin Gaye would be constituted as soul, but then so would like I honestly I'm not, it seems like very vague. It probably like is just like a blanket term encompassing various subgenres. Anyways, what was I doing? Ah, yes. So Emery responded. Also, apparently, I didn't know this. I learned about Motown when I was growing up. I didn't know that, like, apparently, like, Barry Gordy, the guy that, like, runs Motown, is apparently, like, a really bad person or whatever. Like, apparently, like, some of his, like, artists, like, died under suspicious circumstances. I don't remember, like, the details behind it. But apparently, like, he has, like, a really shady, like, history in the music industry where he, like, stole money from people on his label and shit. I don't know the details. No, Motown was is it's still a record label, is it? But like Motown was like some of like the biggest like some of the biggest names in Motown. I think, is Motown credited with like mainstreaming African American musical artists? Like you had like the Jackson 5, Diana Ross, Marvin Gaye, was Little Richard on there? Stevie Wonder was on there. Hold on. Who? You don't know who I just mentioned? Diana Ross was in the Supremes as like I think she did Stop in the Name of Love. That was a big song back in the day. The Jackson 5, I mean, obviously I don't need to explain to you what songs they did and what, I mean, or what one of their members ended up becoming. Fuck it, Marvin Gaye. It's just like Marvin Gaye. I mean, it also, once again, if you don't know who he is, you're just like living under a rock. Hold on. Sorry, I keep getting sidetracked. Wasn't Drake in the Jackson 5? Yeah, dude. He was. You're so true. All right, this is Emery. Okay, there's a second clip. Wait, I don't know. Hold on. This is Emery's response.
Hello. Oops.
Green says Marvin Gaye made music for. Okay, Green, I don't think you're in any position to speak on this subject. You literally like. I can read your message logs for the week.
I swapped it to the wrong thing. Hello. Yo, Nick Chromie, thanks for 6 months. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of awkward, but I feel like I should probably... Bro, why am I being what face? Yo, Moonlock, thanks for 26 months. I feel like I should probably...
Marvin Gaye was awesome, and the fucking way he died is, like, one of the saddest stories I've heard in, like, fucking history. In music history. Imagine, like, obviously, it's never good to be murdered. But on a list of ways to be murdered, at the hands of your own father is just, like, insane. Sad as fuck.
Oh, like...
Didn't he, like, get his parents a house? Like, he was super good to his parents, right? His dad, I think, was hitting the mom or whatever, and he had, like, stepped in, and then the dad, like, shot him. And then he got off, right? Didn't the dad get off? Like, it's such a crazy story.
At least say something, cause like it was very, very serious. Yo, Tony, thanks for the 6 months. Yo, Yanners, thanks for 8 months. Okay,
I don't. Is this the clip?
look at LSF or whatever, I guess. But I mean, if you're looking at it, you probably also know that like it was resolved pretty quickly, and like I wasn't super worried about it when like I saw it because that like did not happen.
What is this shit music she's playing? I have no idea. Is it the Ramones? No.
Obviously.
No, it's obviously not. I don't know why I said that. The vocalist sounded like it a little bit.
And like, honestly, there's like a lot that I want to say about the whole situation. I have like
Check inbox real quick. Wait! The person I was referring to in those clips is not Emaru, and I never said it was. The fact people ran with the story and put her name on it in an attempt to cancel her is really disgusting, and it's not anyone's story to retell except mine. Not only are people harassing her, but they're spreading literal lies, things I didn't even say to try to make her look bad. I did not tell the story to attempt to cancel anyone, and it wasn't my intention that it blew up. If you're a regular, you'll know I always talk about relationships and shit. And that's nothing new. You people gotta stop assuming everyone I'm talking about is from OTK. Okay, so what is so why this is like a nothing burger? Unless there's
a
more
lot of
to
thoughts,
this.
but I feel like it's better just to like move on, I guess. But like if I do want to say one thing, I feel really bad for Bonby because
Okay, so this was after the Spawn person came out with that tweet. So what is the
she was literally just talking on her stream with her chat about like
So what is the allegation? Why are we saying we need to look back into this? I think Ms. Kiff brought up that her and Bon, they might have been, but then at what point in time would this be? And is it the same Bonnie? Because someone was like, no, Aiden, the gun situation wasn't that Bonnie, it was a different Bonnie. Isn't there somebody, not the porn, someone was saying Bonnie Blue, I'm like, that Bonnie Blue? And someone's like, no, a different, like, how many Bonnies are involved in this?
her life and everything, and she literally did like nothing wrong or like said anything about.
That's why, wait, but isn't there another Bonnie in the story? The other Bonnie, how many Bonnies are there? Dude, there's like 500 fucking Bonnies. I don't know if there's nothing here to work with. There's nothing here to work with. There's nothing to look back into unless somebody gives me some new evidence of something. Because we don't even know if he was talking about that Bonnie, and then if he was talking about that Bonnie, we don't know what time period they were dating. Read DJ Screwdriver's thread that nobody linked. Cool. Aiden, read this thing that I didn't link. Okay. Let's try to find it. Apparently, this thread was so worth reading that nobody put it in the inbox. Oh, wait. No, they did link it. My bad. My bad. My bad. I didn't realize the tweet was a thread. It's my bad. Bonnie Bonkers said this earlier this year. Emery would have been 23 in 2021. Well, we already saw that. She also said the alleged groomer was a conventionally attractive woman who was popular. Wow! That really narrows it down.
Really attractive woman. Like,
Bonnie Bonkers said while being groomed by a man, she would flirt with a woman and started dating the woman when she turned 18. In a live stream from April 2021, Emery said she helped Bonby out of a... Ooh, okay, this might have some overlap.
When I was 17, I don't know why I'm whispering, but when I was like 17,
I had just gotten out of a really toxic relationship where I was fucking being groomed and essayed and shit and like taken advantage of. You guys know who I'm talking about when I was like 15 through 17.
Wait, okay, wait. So, but couldn't the first story be about the person that she was initially in the relationship with, and then
I had just gotten out of the relationship, and
who do you want me to credit?
I feel like it wasn't even, no. When I was still in the relationship and they came by to visit me, we were like flirting and like getting romantic and like holding hands. We didn't kiss, but we were like...
I mean, I'll be fair, the details do align with Emaru, but she's now denying that it's Emaru. And it's like, okay, then who was this about then? Who was this about?
We're like, you know, I got them flowers. We held hands and we talked about, oh, you're so cute. Like, oh my god, you're so adorable. Shit like that.
This person looks like a freak. There's nothing adorable here.
And that was like while I was still being groomed by the guy. And after like we broke up, you know why I broke up with him? It wasn't just because he was a terrible person, because I was in love with her. And I told him that. I was like, yeah, I'm in love with them. Like, I can't be with you. And then, yeah, the second I turned 18, we started dating.
Okay, I did steal someone. No. In terms of stealing girls, I have never. In terms of stealing girls, I have never stolen a. I did steal someone. No, wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Okay, never mind. I didn't intentionally steal anyone's girlfriend. Oh, no. It was a girl who had a boyfriend and I was friends with her. And after they broke up, she, like, asked if I liked her. And she said that she, like, liked me while she was with him, but we didn't date her.
Wait, hold on. Okay, so let's assume that the story is about Emaru. Emaru's own retelling of this in 2022 was that it was after they broke up that the liking was confided, right? This person would have been 18 at that point. So if we are to assume it's Emaru, based on the 2022 telling of events, right, the relationship and the mutual interest, or the liking part, would have begun after this person had turned 18. If we were to assume that Bonnie's retelling is vague as fuck, and people thinking that this is Emaru is literally like, yeah, that's her own doing. She should clarify who it is, or she should clarify, like, okay, I interpreted some behavior as flirting, it might not have been, and then we start a relationship when I turned 18 or whatever the fuck. Or like, give us something here. Check what other video? What video am I missing?
The reasons I don't talk about the woman that did that to me is because it's like, it's a conventionally attractive woman, like, who's popular. How am I ever gonna...
Oh wait, this is a video?
Just checking your
Sorry.
willingness to lie about lesser things than Bond be still dating a... Just checking your willingness to lie about lesser things than Bond be still dating a pedophile, for example. You're very consistent about not speaking on our friends' private matters, by the way.
Our friends?
You're welcome for the $3. Buy a cherry Coke or something.
She's not dating him. And if you really want to know, I'm actually the person who helped her the whole time that she was, like, dealing with him. But, you know...
Bonnie would have been 18 at this point, right?
You're clearly just obsessed with a minor over the internet, so...
Or they might have been a minor.
You're clearly just obsessed with a minor over the internet, so...
When is Bonnie's birthday? I don't know what's going, like, I mean, if I was to do my most, like, bad faith analysis of this, then wouldn't it be, like, she was potentially flirting, like, with the 17-year-old when she was 23 that was a month away from being 8, and then they start a relationship after this person had turned 18? I don't, this is, like, nothing to me, honestly. Like, unless I have something, unless, like, Bonnie cares to, like, actually do additional clarifications, I don't really know what to do with this. It also could be the case that she got pressured to lie on Emaru's behalf. You know, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. Okay, so I guess...
A pedophile, for example.
Whoa.
You're very
Whoa, I totally
Just
missed it. We're a quarter of the way to stream legal. So based. I don't know how long I'm gonna be live. If we could get halfway tonight, that would be based as fuck. Thank you, G's. Here's the real take. She's just an attention seeker. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. It's the most vague. Like, I hate when people are, like, vague about this shit. Like, if people are if it really is a misinterpretation, that's completely your fault. Because you're, like, explaining a very serious situation, but, like, being as vague as possible, leaving people to just start assuming who it is. Someone has come out now, since the original Ms. Kiff, the Emaru Ms. Kiff stuff, we had someone come out and say that, like, at a convention, Ms. Kiff touched their face or something, which is like, okay, that's like weird, but like, I don't know. Once again, I don't really know what to do with that. And then we have someone else now coming out saying something else about Ms. Kiff. My Ms. Kiff essay and harassment experience. Our first hookup, I was so drunk I couldn't keep my eyes open. Originally, I was supposed to crash on the couch, but somehow ended up in his bed. I remember all I wanted was to sleep, but he kept trying to kiss me and undress me. I finally let him have it because I was too dizzy to care anymore. He made sure to coach me to say that it was consensual afterwards and get the story straight because he was afraid of being canceled. He was so sweet at that time that we ended up having a consensual fling afterwards. After our fling ended, he started terrible rumors about me, telling people I was a manipulative, bad, and awful human. He would tell people that I cut myself during sex and that I was crazy. I would hear the most awful rumors. Okay, once again, if you're cutting yourself during sex and he's engaging, that he's probably being turned on by that. So Ms. Kiff does this thing where it's like he uses shit against people who come out against him that also implicates him. Like the rabbits shit, it was like, you know, once again, if like there's like consensual cutting during, it's like, yeah, that's weird. But if it's between consenting adults, which it might not have been here, but like let's say it was, like I don't really care too much. But it's like in regards to in regards to the rabbit stuff, Ms. Kiff essentially implicated himself, admitting he basically let animals die from neglect under his own roof. This made me never reach out to people anymore. I was mortified of the rumors he'd spread and depressed me over what people thought of me. Lolcow is a witness to the depression Ms. Kiff caused me. He's also a witness to the harassment I experienced long after the fling was over. During my relationship with Lolcow, he'd regularly talk shit about me and constantly tell Lolcow that he doesn't know the real... I don't know what that means. He tried poisoning our relationship the whole time. He'd plan ideas into Lolcow's head to start fights. After the relationship with Lolcow ended, Miz upped the shit talking even more. Lolcow noted that it looked like Miz was actively trying to ruin my reputation. I would hear how everyone in Austin hates me because of what Miz would say. I think Emaru is super brave for coming out with her story. I struggle with posting this as I don't want to be associated with or tied to him at all, but I want to corroborate her story with my personal hell Ms. Kiff kindly gifted me. So this first part, if based on the amount of information she gave, it just sounds like rape. Is this the same? Is this a different person? Hold on. Somebody else talked about the face touching. That's hold on. I'm noticing a common theme here. All of the 3 women that have said things about that have come out with allegations against him are all Asian. I guess he has a type or something. Yeah, the face touching was a different girl. You told me at the time he told Lakari to get you drunk before trying to hook up. Just wanted to verify the kind of advice he was giving at that. Yeah, if it was the case that you were too drunk to consent and he had sex with you, that's just rape. All right, well, anyways, until further developments happen in the Mizkif story, I think this will probably be it for now, unless more shit comes out. Apparently, we have a new Mama Max, and this is some very controversial shit.
Christian.
Okay, this is 45 minutes. We'll try to skim through it. But I'm being told, apparently this guy is evolving into the new Mama Max. This is linked by Gang Stalker.
Pedophile. Influencer. These are just a few of the accolades we could attribute to A1 Katie Cruz, an online content creator with a decade in activism, dedicated to supporting the MAP cause through the Christian lens.
MAP, a category for anyone with sexual feelings toward children.
Oh, fuck me.
Was this guy actually in the army, or is he? I'll admit, like, those green army jackets look cool, but, like, does not look good on him at all. Was this guy actually even in the army?
This is going to be a long one. In this video, I will be exposing her beyond radical beliefs, her attempt to make a 10-year-old child her girlfriend, and allegedly...
That's not what they look like, is it? That's not even what they look like, is it? Because I know... Oh, I guess no, that's not true. The army jackets that I'm used to seeing are Vietnam era. Like, people sometimes, like, wear their dad's jacket.
Allegedly exposing the real-life identity of the online hellspawn that is Katie Cruz. Buckle your seatbelts, here we go.
What we do here is go.
I first became aware of Katie Cruz when I was looking into the now infamous MAP Camp of 2024. MAP Camp was a minor attracted persons convention scheduled to be held in Plainfield, Vermont.
What?
Watch my other video to see how that shit went down. MAP Camp was...
Excuse me? So the question about maps is, once again, I'm of the belief that thoughts that you cannot control are not immoral, right? But at the same time, it's different, like formulating entire communities around this disgusting attraction. I feel like could just like incentivize and normalize it when it. I think we should incentivize people who have it to like be comfortable with getting help or going and seeing a professional to talk to about it to, you know, mitigate risks for offense. But like normalizing the actual celebration of said attraction, I am not in favor of.
You're headed by a character known as Mythby, someone I delved into in extensive detail. Mythby runs an organization called Metal, which is...
Also, let's just call it what it is. It's like you're a pedophile, right? You happen to be, you know, in the case of some, they're non-offending pedophiles. They have the attraction, but they're not hurting kids as a result of that, which is like, you know, you had like certain cards dealt to you, and you're not acting on it. So it's like, I don't really know what condemnation I can make of that. But then when you're like talking about the map shit and the actual celebration and organization and advocacy of this being like a legitimate identity, like, yeah, now you've completely lost me.
Map Equality, Dignity, and Liberation. Katie Cruz seems to work hand in hand to some degree with Mythby and is a regular contributor to the newsletter of this organization. A columnist known for such...
I want to get to a point where we know of pedophiles before they hurt, because we know of pedophiles before they hurt kids, because many times the only way you find out is after they've hurt a kid. So I do want to make it so that people with this attraction are able to go receive help. And I think they can, right? Go speak to a professional about this without like, because someone was making the argument to me that we should just kill anyone who admits to having an attraction like this. And it's like, okay, so now what you've just done is you're going to make it so the only way we're ever going to find out is after a kid's been molested. And it's like, I don't want that. I don't want kids to be molested. So,
bangers as why did God create pedophiles? And is minor attracted a sin in the Christian faith? In Metal's first newsletter, Mifeby thanks a number of maps, including Katie herself. Mifeby says, we have met weekly since October 2023. Creating minorattracted.org has been our biggest project. On top of that, we've been plugging away on research and prep work for some activism projects. We have far more projects in planning than we do projects that are
what is Christianity's view on thoughts? Does Christianity believe that like thoughts can like are sinful? Because I do believe that there are uncontrollable thoughts, and for people that like this, right? Like, unfortunately, it is the case that like I don't know if there's like a proven way to stop an attraction to something, but being attracted to something and actually going and doing something with that are two different things. And obviously the attraction itself and acting on it I find personally disgusting, but I'd only be assigning a moral description to acting on it, which is, you know, morally horrible in regards to the thoughts in and of themselves, although I find them grotesque and disgusting. If you can't control them, I don't really know what to say. You can control your actions, and if you're not acting on it, I don't know what to really say.
We've even engaged in some direct action when needed to stand up for one of our members. I'm incredibly impressed with the valuable work we've done, but in my opinion, the best we've done together is ending our weekly meetings with a dance party that lasts for one song. Now, I don't know if that is to say that all of Metal's columnists are included in these weekly meetings. I imagine not all of these people are located in the Vermont area, but the point is that Katie Cruz is part of an organization of like-minded, minor-attracted persons who are pushing this ideology.
There's also this notion that the LGBT, you can see it from these tweets of like 50-year-old hags. The LGBT now want to include maps. They're adding the P to LGBT. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's talking about this except people who identify as maps. And these thoughts, if acted upon, lead to always lead to grotesque, horrific results, which is why this is not an identity that should be celebrated. It should be treated as a mental health problem. Yeah, it's not sinful to think unless you're inviting the thoughts willingly. Yeah.
As activism. What is, of course, an immediately noteworthy and colorful detail of Katie Cruz as a character is, of course, her Christian faith.
Unfortunately, people are just really not educated on like this subject at all. A lot of people don't understand the difference between actually being like a minor attracted person and having POCD, or like I don't know. Like a good example, like I've spoken about OCD before, right? And somebody put the analogy to me this way. It's like essentially you have like a rogue programmer in your head that is, without your consent, invoking thoughts of things that disgust you. Like people with POCD, the reason it's POCD, like they are disgusted by those thoughts. Your brain picks the intrusive thoughts are always going to be things that are antithetical to what you actually want or believe. So for example, an animal lover with intrusive thoughts from OCD, images of them harming animals might get implanted in their mind, which is going to cause them significant distress.
Now, many people have espoused the Christian faith who have turned out to, behind the curtain, be terrible, horrible,
yeah,
evil,
people with POCD are not pedophiles.
abusive, rapey type monsters. What's a little bit more of a rare drop is someone who holds both pedophilia and Christianity as being proud identities in tandem. So, according to Katie Cruz, Christianity is not
OCD is like such a misunderstood illness in general.
compatible with minor attraction. Contrary to popular belief, there is nothing in the Bible that forbids it. Paul's first letter to the Corinthians reads, if any man think that he behaveth himself uncomely toward his virgin, if she passes the flower of her age and needs so require, let him do what he will, he sinneth not, let them marry. Flower of her age, in my belief, means reached menarche, which is the first stage of puberty in girl children. I interpret this passage to mean that once they are at that age, they can be married, and for a marriage to be valid, it must be consecrated with sexual intercourse. Thus, a sexual relationship with a pubescent child is not morally wrong, as long as it's in the confines of marriage. Jesus said we must be like children to enter the kingdom of God. Children are pure and innocent. How can you not love something that is so God-like? My love for children is a love for God, but just like I won't desecrate God, I won't desecrate a child. Here is Katie Cruz's prayer of the map. She's inventing prayers now. I speak peace and love, acceptance and understanding, health, prosperity, and power. I speak liberation from the forces that deny our right to love. I speak courage to stand against adversity. I speak all of this for maps and youth alike.
What is your right to love? What right are you not being afforded? Nobody's nobody would police your private thoughts because nobody would know about your private thoughts unless you're publicly celebrating them, which is in this case, like, yeah, this should not be celebrated. And then also, like, And then also, in addition to that, like, hold on. Like, what right do you want now? Do you want the right to actually act on this? And then it's like, okay, well, you're somebody that probably should be preemptively hospitalized.
And collaboration within the map community. I speak a revolution, our Stonewall. Let it flow.
This is like disgusting.
Free. I speak all of this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Katie Cruz's version of Christianity permeates all aspects of her life, even her pedophilia. So much so that she considers pedophilia itself to be, quote, her ministry. She says, I joined the map community as a young, naive teen. I was hopelessly in love with little girls, and the prospect of a lifetime of loneliness seemed inevitable and devastating. I had radical ideas of legalizing relationships between adults and tween girls and looked for ways.
Okay, so this is somebody that's not even non-offending. They're not offending so long as it's illegal to do so. They want to legalize this so that they can actually engage in this relationship. And their website features a photo of them near a very real child in the context of her sexual attraction to kids. Yeah, this is disgusting. And this person, this is like really, yeah, this is like horrible.
Be able to spend time with them, though I soon realized these types of relationships aren't feasible. I knew nothing about this orientation, and I hated the idea that I was pedophile, and went through the 5 stages of map grief. Over the years, I've met a lot of people who have guided me and inspired me to reflect philosophically.
Why are you who am I defending? Wait, who am I defending here? Who am I defending? I think this is disgusting. I think that this is wrong in every facet, that she actually wants to offend and normalize offense. Who am I defending? Like,
on minor attraction. I've learned a lot about myself and about human nature. I have had many maps confide in me for comfort and advice, and I don't know how I do it. I'm hardly a great communicator, but the right words always seem to come to me. And every time I help another map, I'm so fulfilled. I finally found my...
It's gonna be TMI, but I have OCD, and I shit you not, when I was 10 to 11 years old, virgin, I had intrusive thoughts that I was pregnant. Yeah, I knew some kid that got, he was not trans, but his intrusive thoughts were that, and he knew in reality he couldn't turn into a woman, but, and this is the thing about OCD, these people are not delusional, but they have this like strong feeling to, like, for example, like your brain is telling you if you don't go touch that doorknob, you're going to turn into a woman. You know that's not actually going to happen, but you have this strong feeling that makes you actually engage in a compulsion that you believe is going to stop the outcome of your obsession. And not all OCD involves a compulsion. There's quote unquote, there's pure OCD.
Purpose in life. I'm still on this map journey myself, still learning. I believe I can take this experience and use it for good in this world. The map community is where I belong, and helping people with this orientation is my ministry. What does this ministry look like exactly? Well, here's an example. This is on Katie Cruz's blog. I believe it was originally her comment in a Reddit thread of someone who was confiding anonymously that they were struggling with being attracted to minors. Now, I will hand you that one could have a ministry of sorts in which they talk to people who are struggling with this very bad attraction and trying to guide people away from it. That's something that we're about to see attempted. However, there are some similarities here between Katie Cruz and might be of the aforementioned map camp fiasco, which is at times they will use language that appears like that is their goal, to help people resist temptations, as it were, in this case, attractions that could only result...
No, but on her website, she's actively, like, advocating for legalizing these attractions. Or not attractions, like, acting on them. She actually wants these relationships to occur.
In harming a child if acted upon. However, as we delve deeper into Katie Cruz, we'll of course see a lot of doublespeak happening, because there will be other instances in which their entire goal is to justify being attracted to minors and acting upon those attractions. Okay, so back to Katie Cruz's advice to a struggling person with a minor attraction. As a human being, especially as a Christian, we're all going to be given temptation from time to time. We usually can't help the temptation that comes our way. Being tempted doesn't make you evil, doesn't make you a monster, it makes you human. So far, so good. That's fair. We're all tempted, whether it's to steal that watch on the table while your friend isn't looking, or maybe it's being tempted to run someone off the road who is being a jerk. Okay, that's a little more psychotic, but I'm gonna withhold judgment. Our temptation happens to be acting negatively on our attraction to children. You seem to be overwhelmingly tested, and you passed the test. You didn't act negatively upon that attraction. You are not an evil pedophile or monster. Even if you had touched her inappropriately, it wouldn't necessarily make you evil. I'm gonna go ahead and stop you there.
Yeah, that's... See, it's not even saying, like, it's one thing to have these thoughts, know you have them, know that they're disgusting and wrong, and to advocate for people to get treatment for it so that they don't end up, like being completely against the act. It's another thing where you have these thoughts and actually believe it's not a big problem if you act on them. And now forming communities, celebrating and creating a distinct identity around these thoughts. Okay, why is everybody fucking going out? Wow, one person typed something other than they hate me, and it's like, stop glazing! Stop glazing! Fuck you, man! So it wasn't good enough for you people to constantly demean me. You now actively have to demean people who are not demeaning me. Really? Like a fucking cancer. $2 from Belinda. One of his membership badges is Mama Max's face.
Even if you had touched her inappropriately, it wouldn't necessarily make you evil. I'm gonna go ahead and stop you there. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's move on. It means you are human and you messed up. Everyone's saying...
Just how it is? No, that isn't how it is. How it is if I don't like what you're saying, banned.
It's human nature. It's how we feel about it afterwards that makes us evil or not. It's how you feel about it afterwards that makes you evil or not. There's something very interesting about Katie Cruz's particular theology in this way. It's entirely self-centered. What defines what she would consider to be sin has solely to do with whether that's a, oh, no, God said don't do that thing. There is absolutely zero regard for the effects your actions may have on, in this case, a fucking child. I learned in a Bible study that our gifts come from our greatest struggles. Instead of seeing your orientation as a struggle, see it as a gift. You love children. Children, especially babies, are meant to receive nurture, love, and affection. You probably have more compassion for them. What can you do to make a child's life better? There's nothing wrong with withholding, cuddling, tickling, and kissing baby.
Okay, I don't care.
She would give me a wet but playful smooch before laying her head on my chest.
Okay, I don't care to listen to this. Okay, we'll skip to the. I don't really care about listening. I don't want to really listen to
Lucy.
the details.
Don't put in anything that you're writing so that her name isn't public.
Katie Cruz went to high school. Two of her high school friends married each other. They had a daughter, Lucy. Katie Cruz remained close friends with these people as they were raising their family. Now, what is disturbing is that the
$5 from Jinro. Thank you so much, Jinro. Bro, we're over a quarter of the way to stream league goal. We're even close to halfway. Your guys' and we've hit temp goal. I'm resetting. Thank you guys so much. Soph Base. Thank you, Jinro. Thank you, Belinda. Thank you, Master Bricks. Thank you, Soul Skibbity. Thank you, G's. Hold up.
these two high school friends of Katie Cruz were aware of
Brofist.
her quote-unquote sexuality. According to Katie Cruz, it was apparently considered a detail disturbing but not friendship-breaking, light enough to the point that it was the butt of jokes.
Okay. Hey, Dance, I don't know what you're doing, but it seems like you're just, like, trying to start an argument with random chatters, and the goal is to, like, have a community where, people don't feel scared of talking in it. I don't know what is the contention here that you're having? I don't know. What is a bro? Like, I don't.
Amongst the friend group.
And I came out, said I love little girls. And well, that was kind of dumb. I've lost like 2/3 of my friends.
That's what I did.
Family.
Fist bump. That's what I just did. What else am I don't know what it is. I don't know what you want me to do. Shut the fuck up. That sucks. Okay. Fuck you. Like, personally. Okay? And take this, what I'm about to do, take this very personally. Okay? You are going, the crystal is back, and you're fucking going in it. Timed out. Hey, Dance. You're also timed out. Where's this fucking guy? Belinda with the 3. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
After that initial thing, like most of my closest friends, they stayed with me. I became the butt of every joke and stuff. And I didn't mind that. Like, oh yeah, I did it before puberty does.
Huh?
Family disowned me. After that initial thing, like most of my closest friends, they stayed with me. I became the butt of every joke and stuff. And I didn't mind that. Like, oh yeah, I did it before puberty does. It wasn't an issue. They accepted me. Until they all started having daughters. And then it just kind of became passive aggressiveness, dirty looks, and
wow, I wonder why.
Lots of little fights and things, and eventually, my closest friends, the parents of Lucy, they just ghosted me.
The Lucy saga, as I'm coining it, is a series of love letters, musings, poems, lamentations, and fantasies that span the years of 2018 to 2025, all of which detail Katie Cruz's absolute virulent sexual obsession with the young child that is pseudonymed Lucy. In November of 2021, Katie Cruz writes, "It'll be 8 years before she's 18. I don't know if I'll get to see her again before she's 18 or even after. Am I delusional to wait for her that long with no guarantee we'll end up together in the end? I really don't want to be with anyone else, though." So obviously, if it's 8 years before she's 18 in the year 2021, that means in 2021, Lucy is 10 years old. As I mentioned, the first we hear of this saga in the archive of Katie Cruz's blog is in 2018, meaning that Katie Cruz begins writing of her sexual obsession with this child when the child is 7 years old. I am a small-time commentary YouTuber. I make videos about topics
Sorry. What I was just saying was, I don't know how this guy's fucking mama Max. Like, this video seemed reasonable to me. I get it. I get muted. Wow, I was muted for fucking 3 seconds. Big news, everybody. Big fucking news. Get your jabs in. $10. Thank you for the 10, Cal. Much appreciated. Good stream. Good work. Thanks, buddy. That puts us halfway to Streamly goal. Thank you so much, Cal.
It happened to be interesting to me.
I don't know how this guy is Mama Max exactly, but once again, listen to what he says.
I am a small-time commentary.
You wouldn't consider this guy commentary. Everyone else, this is what I mean when I say the thing that we've called the commentary community is actually like the niche losers community who don't understand that nobody else considers them the commentary community. It's just like actually a community of a bunch of like niche losers that associate with each other and have like an insufferable audience. That's really it. There has never been the commentary community hasn't existed. You were living in a dream.
YouTuber. I make videos about topics that happen to be interesting to me. All of that changed 24 hours ago. I am now a much more cynical, much more pissed off.
2 from G's. Aiden, you can be the next XQC, just saying. No, I have to dumb myself down to do that. I just have to dumb myself down. Chat. Like, I don't understand what the problem, like, with what the guy's doing it. Like,
YouTuber with a bone to pick against some very particular people. So what happened 24 hours ago? Let me take you back. I posted a video titled Katie Cruz, the Christian influencer. Apparently, I have to tread incredibly lightly with these words. This was an expose on a very public online predator who is an active influencer and activist who is attempting to normalize minor attractions. Now, I was colored surprised when I got a notification at 1 in the morning. This video has been removed for violating YouTube's community guidelines. It looks like Katie Cruz, the Christian influencer, didn't follow community guidelines. To help keep our community safe, we removed it from YouTube. What we found, we think your content didn't follow our child safety policy, which was a surprise to me because I'm the good guy here. This video was 40 minutes long. It was very, very well.
Okay, I don't care. It was probably automated. Who gives a fuck? Honestly, I don't care. Go fuck yourself. Now, apparently, there's been some ongoing furry Pokemon drama, or whatever the fuck, that June the King has just dropped a video on. This guy by the name of...
For the past 10 years, Verlisify has...
Okay, no. June the King made a video explaining his lore, and then there's a new development. Got it. Verlisify? Okay, so this is about to be the most degenerate, like, shit I've ever watched. I already know, like, off the bat. By the end of this, there is going to be a goat that has been sexually assaulted.
Been the scourge of the Pokemon community. Whether it be for official play or unofficial competitive websites like Smogon, he's gone after it all, even blaming his campaigning against Smogon for a breakup.
My girlfriend broke up with me this morning, and it's probably because, my attitude has been a lot more sour since Smogon has come out.
Topping Verlisify's hatred of Smogon is Wolfie VGC, also known as Wolf Glick, the 2016 world champion of the official Pokemon video game championship, where through his own words has been making bi-yearly videos on him for what he believes is cheating.
Oh, you're so obsessed with Wolf. Even though I've made like 20 videos about him in over a decade.
Verlisify's extreme rule enforcement behavior has also bled into other games and their communities, such as Animal Crossing New Horizons and its Star Tree controversy.
I'll get wrecked, noob. This dude is so deranged and so ill, they have now wrecked themselves. This is bullying.
The domineering theory behind Verlisify's obsession was that he focuses on ill-thought-out call-out videos for the sake of viewership. But being that this is a likely factor for a sharp decline in viewership and possibly sanity makes that an unlikely reason. But how to go from one of the largest channels in the Pokemon community to the most hated, and more important...
Oh my god. Dude, this is gonna be non-tent. It's gonna be non-tent, but I'll give it a try. I'll give it a fucking try, because what else am I gonna do? What else am I gonna do? Am I gonna go live a life, hang out with friends, get a real job? Hey, look, guys, I'm going to get a real job. What else is there to do, man? It's all so tiresome, isn't it?
place strict rules on what Pokemon and abilities are allowed within their tournaments. An example of this is Evasion Clause through banning the move Minimize. This is a move that raises the evasion of a Pokemon, a move that makes them much harder to hit. But in the official VGC tournaments, this was allowed, as Velicify smugly recounts.
And then Drifloon starts stockpiling or using Minimize. Oh, this already sounds filthy, huh? I don't play nice when I want to win Pokemon. That's how I do it.
It was
Honk shoe. I don't care. Honk shoe. There's nothing here. All right, what else is happening? Wait, did anybody see? Hold on. I didn't actually watch the debates that were occurring for the New York mayoral. I'm not gonna watch it now. The New York mayoral race. But hold on, dude. There was this one like super funny moment. Curtis Sliwa, by the way, this guy's been, how long has he been running? Because he was running in the last election, and okay, so we have this question that was asked to all. Also, the most like useless questions are like being asked to these candidates. The most like useless fucking questions. Hold on, but we got this.
Ever purchased anything in a cannabis shop? And if so, what did you buy, Mr. Mamdani?
I have.
Right before this debate, it seems like.
I have purchased marijuana at a legal cannabis shop.
Okay. Mr. Cuomo?
No.
Mr. Sliwa?
When I was shot 5 times, I've had Crohn's disease, I did use medical marijuana. Yes.
Okay. Pretty valid reason. Pretty valid reason. Essentially, I know this story. It was something with the mob. The mob had, like, kidnapped him using a fake taxi cab. It was a fake taxi cab that picks him up. And in the car, they, like, shoot him 5 times and dump him on a street. And he survived. He survived. He like, literally got shot 5 fucking times.
Okay.
Curtis Sliwa is just, like, such a funny guy, dude. I don't know if he'd make a good mayor, of course, but he's a very fucking funny guy. I have to read more about Mamdani, because it feels like he just, like, says the shit that, like, sounds good, right? With, like, the Bernie bros, or any leftist for that matter, but that's not what I care about so much is, like, how are you gonna do this and, like, negate, like, the ill effects that would be brought by virtue of, like, because it's, like, you know, there's, like, a valid criticism to be made, like, how do we increase, like, taxes to an extent where, to fund, like, or how do we fund, making certain public works free, and then it's like, oh, tax like the rich, and it's like, I'm fine with that, but then it's like, how do we do that in a way where, like, it's not gonna make people want to move? Like, I'm okay, like, taxing the rich on a federal level, but what you worry about on the state and local level is how do you, if you're gonna do that, how do you do it where, like, people aren't just gonna go move to another city? Like, I agree that, like, corporations need to pay their due, but I think that change needs to happen on a federal level once again. And I don't know what doing it at the local level does besides, like, how you can do something like that on a local level without, like, harming your economy as a whole. Because moving takes millions of dollars. Well, it does, right? But then you would look into, okay, well, tax-wise, like, is the long-term additional taxation going to be more costly than the actual process of relocating? Like, my problem is, like, the thing about leftists is we can all agree on, like, unless it's MLs, we can, like, or anarchists or whatever, we can agree on, like, this is what we want, right? This is the end goal. But it's, like, focusing on the end goal is, like, useless when you're just, like, not talking about how we're gonna get there, and, like, mitigating any, like, negative byproduct to it. Yes, it'd be like, how do you defeat lobbying like, yeah, to actually meaningfully make corporations pay their due, you would have a platform advocating that. But then it's like, how do you have a platform advocating that when lobbying is actually like a super important part of winning a election? Like, you can't, like, how do you like advocate for defeating a system? How do you advocate against lobbying while you're running for office, like, without completely destroying your campaign? You know what I mean? You know, I have like decent questions for Mamdani, and like how some of these things he's advocating for are actually going to be like implemented, while negating like certain byproducts that may like cause more negative effects in the long run. And I feel like those are the questions that need to be answered in debates. Maybe they were. I'd have to watch the full debate before I conclusively said he hasn't answered that. Aiden, people are upset. They're upset with what? Pick up the phone? Oh, wait, we've got this. This is how some of my Jewish friends in Brookline have been receiving their Amazon packages recently. Here's the security footage. we have security footage that a package was delivered. There's no security footage. We don't know if that was done on their end or the driver's end. And also, how would the driver? I mean, I guess they could have what is it called? The thing on the door, and like the fucking driver could see that and then write it, but he isn't writing anything on it in that video, and when he sees the door. And also, it's like, how would you? I mean, unless they're ordering like 10,000 Israeli flags and their name is like Goldberg or something, that, but like, I don't know. There's a lot, and then for this to happen not once but multiple times leaves me with even more questions. Makes me very skeptical. I don't know, like, what the deal is with this. Is anything else happening? Okay, we got some Roblox drama. We'll check this out. You need reparations for what?
Meet Latina Doll, a Roblox TikTok e-girl.
$2 from G's. Check inbox. Trust me, it's good. G's, I love you, buddy, but I don't know. This isn't really the kind of content I cover. Like a car.
Another Porsche left.
Wow. That's really fast.
Girl with over 180,000 followers. She might look all innocent on the surface, but deep down, she is incredibly evil and one of the most egregious.
Why does everyone like talking about like doing these like internet anarchist style like video essays, like why do they all like feel like they're putting on this like voice where they speak really slowly?
Scammers I've come across throughout my career, and today we will be exposing her disgusting actions for everyone to see.
They all sound the same, man.
Hi, my name is Ducky. I post a documentary every 3 days, so make sure to subscribe and notifications to never miss an upload. I'm also hosting a 5,000 Robux giveaway every month in my Discord.
Wow! Wow!
I got scammed, made me realize just how desperate some people are for even just a little bit of money. Disgusting people like the girl we will be looking at today take advantage of people's trust that they had to earn, all for a couple $100 or some Roblox limited items. We really live in a time where people value virtual items that could literally mean nothing in 10 years over real human connection.
I also love, it is runtime, because notice how they need to give you the history of everything they talk about. Like if they're talking, this YouTube was a platform made in 2000. They need to give the history of every concept that's like spoken about in the video that we all understand.
And trust. And Latina Doll, the TikTok scammer we're looking at today, is no exception. This talentless e-girl has over 180,000 followers on TikTok. Most of her content has been deleted after getting away with scamming over 10 victims, and possibly even more. However, justice still needs to be served, and she still has a platform to post on where she continues to go live. This part of the video was meant to be the rise of her career, right? But this e-girl is so talentless, so fucking boring, that there is nothing to really point out other than basic e-girl goonbait Roblox TikToks.
We're already over a minute in, and the intro hasn't started. It's just telling you that this is going to be bad, what you're about to see. We're a minute and 30 in. I'd love to know like the details of what I'm about to see.
Luring in who I would imagine are desperate e-gooners who found her attractive. She would build a somewhat big following that allowed her to get in contact with some of these e-gooners to the point where they would fully trust her. She would take advantage of this, not once, not twice, not even 7 times. This desperate ass chick has over 10 plus victims, and I've been sent overwhelming proof against her that we will be taking a look at and revealing for everyone to see. I would even get in contact with her ex, who revealed just how evil and malicious this chick is, as well as one of the victims who fell for her scamming ways. But without wasting any more of your time, let's begin with how exactly she goes about scamming.
At least he admits it. At least he's admitting to wasting my time. Okay, at least he's a time waster, but he's honest about it. Like, I feel like taking this long to get to the point, even if you're trying to stretch